And then
Oh, hi, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday Wisdom. I'm Nancy Nance, and today we're talking about something that every human experiences, but very few people feel comfortable with: newness, new beginnings, new identities, new seasons, new possibilities. And honestly, newness can feel exciting and terrifying at the same time.
sometimes you don't even know you're in it.
No, right?
No. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and sometimes we think we want change until change actually arrives. And then suddenly we want the comfort of the old version of ourselves back, right?
Well, the thing about change and newness is it's new. And as much as we anticipate what it is, how we feel, what it's going to be, all of those things, it's new.
Yeah.
It's an amazing opportunity for new pathways in our brain, to let go of old pieces of it, to not recreate what hasn't worked for us. And astrologically and world evolution, which I don't see them as different, is where we are. We are in a time and a place and a space that we're always in some kind of evolution, but this is a really big one. This is a huge awakening.
It is huge, such a huge awakening. And it's so interesting that even when the old version no longer fits, right? Even when we know deep down we're meant for more, it's like, yeah. So today's joy check-in is this: when newness is trying, what newness is trying to enter your life right now, and are you resisting it or receiving it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, pause for a second and really think about that, because sometimes life whispers to us long before it shouts.
I love that very much, because it's true, because that's why we find the newness we attract to ourselves. It's not an accident. It's not it may not look, though, like we thought it would look.
Yeah.
That's where anxieties come. That's where, fear comes. And that's when our programming shows up.
Yep.
In how, and how we deal with that. And that's what's kind of exciting about this newness, is when you become aware of that, then you can interact with it at a different, I don't want to say understanding, because it still has the same emotional components. You just don't have to solve them. You can feel them and move on.
Yeah. My goodness, that's so true, because one of the things I've learned is that growth rarely feels graceful in the beginning.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Right? Like, it feels awkward. So awkward.
We have here something called sandhill cranes, which are very, very big birds, very tall, kind of ostrich-like necks. And their babies grow incredibly quickly, and they get to such an awkward stage because they start like most little birds, but
Yeah.
they're really, really stretching out. If you have a chance, you can Google what they look like, sandhill cranes. And then they start, when you see them developing, they walk funny. The changes is like, oh, it's kind of how we were as teenagers. Like, what?
Oh my God. Wasn't that growth uncertain?
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you too, aging is not for the faint of heart as well. Like, what is that?
Oh
What
my
is
God. It feels like standing in the hallway between two versions of yourself, right? You're not used to anymore. Like,
no.
like you're not fully comfortable being the next version of you yet either. And that middle space, that space can feel really vulnerable.
Right. And so then you find yourself doing some things in the newness of this evolution that even as you're doing them, you're like, why am I doing this? You know that and that's what we're seeing, that need to hold on to what we know, even though we know it didn't serve us to begin with.
That's so true. That's so true. So Kitty and I talk a lot about cycles, energy, storytelling, astrology, healing, identity, and transformation. And one thing we both see over and over again is this: humans often cling to familiarity, even when familiarity is hurting them, because the known feels safer than the unknown, even when the unknown may actually contain the joy we've been praying for.
Right. And what's interesting right now is the evolutionary placement of the earth soul, shall we say, is in getting away from all the solution generating, problem solving, all of the little pieces, this Virgo energy. The golden shadow of that is being able to put pieces together, but realizing that there were certain pieces we crammed together that
Mm.
and we're building a picture that we're learning really never existed. And again, here's the big one we're grappling with, is that the answers are outside us. We have been taught that the answers, and even in the spiritual community, well, when you do this, you will attract from you out. No, it's still outside of you. You're still thinking there's a magic thing that's coming. It's the alignment
Mm-hmm.
and understanding that it comes from within. Um,
Yes,
and
and I think so many people are standing on the edge of becoming right now.
right, understanding this newness.
Yeah,
There's
like new relationship, leaving
uh,
behind a version of themselves tied to survival.
right, and that this awareness, understanding this newness is number one. I don't understand because it hasn't happened to me before, and I am encountering a new way of thinking, problem solving, solution generating that's not about the angel that comes to rescue me or the person on the white horse or the system that if we just get the system to be, it will take care of everyone. It
Oh
starts
my
with
gosh,
the
that is so
individual.
that is so true. And I look at it when you think of starting a new business, writing the book,
Hmm.
speaking up,
Yeah,
healing,
right.
resting, trusting.
Yeah, trusting.
Or finally believing, allowing themselves to believe they are worthy of peace.
Peace,
Big
joy,
one. Big
joy.
one.
And that it's an inside job.
Oh
Well,
my gosh, I understand that so deeply.
yeah, if this hadn't happened to me, well, number one, it did. And number two, your reaction is the only thing you have the influence over.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
there. so many moments in my life where I've had to become anew, not because I felt ready, like
Mhm.
because feeling, well, because staying the same was no longer possible.
Right.
Yeah. And every single time I resisted the process, life became heavier.
Mhm.
Yeah. Heavier. But every time I leaned into the possibility, joy expanded.
It was new, and you came to understand where it you had the choice to be led. And that's the difference is, um, understanding that there's so much that you have been told that is old on how you do things and where you do them, and you have internalized it, and
Yes.
calling the characters of your play together and going, "Wait a minute, is that really what I wanna internalize?" A great example is when I hear people say, "Oh, this world sucks." Well, then you believe this world sucks. Is that really what you wanna believe?
Well, right, and let go of the vacuum cleaner stuck to your face that
Yeah,
says it's
yeah,
right, like, this sucks, because newness does not ask us to be perfect.
no,
It asks
no,
us to be willing to grow, willing to heal, really
you know,
told stories.
to let our wings dry as we come out of the cocoon of
Yes.
understanding, because we can't fly with wet wings. We need to let it dry and experiment with this new body, this new understanding. And it's not a straight line, you know. I love the song God Bless the Crooked Road,
Yeah,
you know. Um,
yeah. Well,
and it's
and willing to believe that maybe our future does not have to look like our past,
right, you
right?
know,
That's
um,
powerful.
that we have to find an explanation as to why, you know, if you find yourself gathering new information, it doesn't mean it's all right for you. It just means it's to take you to expand your kind of horizon of understanding it, you
Well,
know?
and I love that because I used to be such a stickler and so hard on myself when I didn't understand something fully. The card that I pulled this morning from the Moonology Oracle deck is Full Moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming.
Mhm. And Gemini is all about experience and communicating that experience, and they go together. So, how I experience something and how I communicate creates the next step. And it's not about perfection. It's like, can I stand in the middle and see both ends of the scope? Oh, hello, friend.
Biggie. Yeah, it's Biggie Smalls. He's the best. He's the best. He loves his ball. Where's your ball, Biggie? He will come back with said ball.
Mhm.
He's the dog that I wrote about. Biggie.
Oh,
Yeah, that's my Biggie. That's my Biggie. He's just so sweet. He's such a good boy. He's so good with the girls and his ball. He will do anything for that soggy, wet ball, and that's the newness, right? Every day. And I mean, when he finds one of his favorite balls, oh, he's so happy.
how old is Biggie?
Gosh, older than Sunny, and Sunny is 6. I'd say about 8.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm looking over there because my puppy is 12. He's got a white face.
Hmm.
And he has taken to, oh, he knows I'm talking about him. He has taken to sleeping in his cage because it's comfortable.
Yes. Yes.
But
Oh my gosh, the cage, right? We build this cage around ourselves
and we
and
sleep.
it becomes comfortable, right? If
Mhm.
it's a good cage, that's great. That's great. And analyzing your cage often is a good thing.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's his den. It's his, and we need that time to be in our den, to evaluate, to feel safe. Nothing wrong with it. And we need the connectedness of each other,
Oh my
because
God.
I only have a piece of that namaste, the soul light in me, to greet the soul light in you.
Right. And as the stresses of the world rise, um, we need someone to bring us down to reality. I realized that's this weekend. Holy, nothing like a celebration of life with all the exes, except for the one who passed. Like, oh boy. And it turned out, well, that's not what I imagined.
And you went into it with the newness of, this is a new kind of experience. What's
Oh
going
my
to
gosh.
be?
The time spent with my mother-in-law was extraordinary.
Hmm.
Extraordinary. She was so kind. She said to me, because I said, I was a little bit nervous about Brenda, the most recent ex-wife, showing up. And she looks at me and she says, well, no, I told Leslie that she can't be here. You've got 20 years in. And she went on about the 20 years. And she said, a gold digger ain't coming nowhere near this family. I'm just like, I
Hmm.
waited for so long to hear that. It was
Right.
such a glorious blessing. The eulogy that my sister-in-law read, oh, so heartfelt. 2 letters from the men that were counselors at the Addiction Clarity Home in Kamloops. It was just spectacular. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Seeing my sons all manage their emotions differently. Um, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Yeah.
And the piece of you in a different version that was so part of this.
Oh my God, right? Like I was talking about the tequila that had been poured to Ralph, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's because Josh was there." I'm like, "Oh no, I was the one pouring the tequila
Hmm.
because it was both that okay, we need this, and it was celebrating at the same time. Like it was so glorious."
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you were definitely in that hallway between lives, in the newness and the oldness.
Oh
So
my God.
you, so what an appropriate conversation this is, huh?
Yes. Yeah. So appropriate. So appropriate. And next week, I will be in a new place, right? I will not be in Kelowna. I will be back in Edmonton, spending a week there, catching up on a few projects, and then going to Whistler,
Oh,
which is going to be live streamed. The Avalon
cool.
Spirit Summit is going to be live streamed.
Can you sign up for it?
Yes. 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 So exciting. So exciting. Like so exciting. I started listening to the podcast Jeanette had on with a gentleman that's going to be speaking there. So beautiful. So beautiful. Such knowledge.
I'm. I need to reach out to her too because I haven't talked in a while. It's just been a kind of crazy few months here.
Yeah, crazy, crazy. Like it feels like one of those movies with Gerard Butler, the ones where the storm comes
Yeah,
and shakes you up. Yeah, that's what it's been feeling like.
yeah. It
Yeah.
it it really does.
Yeah, it really does. And there's so much going on the international global spectrum. Uh,
Mhm.
wow, like the fuel shortage, the gas gouging. That's just one. And I mean, I'm just thinking of that because my kids were talking about filling up their tanks this morning, right?
Right. And why is it? I mean, the last of the ships are just arriving now that made it through the straits. So why have we already gone up $1.40 a
Mm,
gallon?
yeah, yeah. Like I said, gas gouging,
So
gas gouging. Yeah. Yeah, and then the cost of everything goes up accordingly and all of that, right? And that's the structure that needs to be looked at and spoken about
mhm.
because we're still
Well,
conditioned, right?
and it's this is the part of this newness is that there's a whole group of people still clinging to that way, and another whole group going, you know what? We're not living like this anymore. You can
Yes.
pull whatever strings you want. Um, And you know, I heard a thing this morning talking about social media, about how that's one of the ways to keep people disconnected because they don't actually have to get in the energy of each other. And I thought, wow, is that a limited way to look at this? Because
Oh my gosh, isn't it?
because I have some great friends,
Yes, you, me. Yeah,
right, who it isn't that we aren't in each other's energy. It's a limitation of the belief of what that is. So
exactly.
it is
Exactly.
it's such an interesting, it's new, and trying to assign the knowledge of what we know to something that is new rather than the being curious and expanding it. So,
Think of a newborn being born and think of yourself like that every day.
well, newborns being born can navigate these devices very quickly.
Yes,
Very,
they sure can. Yes, they sure can.
they weren't taught that. So how are you arguing that, well, we're separating ourselves because we now, do I think that there's absolutely addiction for some people? You know,
Yes.
I know that I can get really caught in just scrolling, and again, what am I feeding my brain? You know,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
but it is an energy, and that's where the enlightenment, the newness, understanding it and believing it can do other things than
Well, I
this
mean,
limitation.
AI popping up on my TikTok telling us like so many things. Like I'm enamored with the changes. I've been working on my website. Thank you, Chat GPT, for giving me some insight and the people that I reach out to.
Mhm.
It's dual, it's mutual, it's the yin and the yang and the flow. Thank you,
So,
GPS, for helping me find my granddaughter's school yesterday, and the fact that I had to call my son and be like, GPS, she ain't working.
yeah.
Well, where are you? I'm like, by a golf course. What's it called? Turn there. Okay, got
Well,
this.
and again, if you want to put limitations on what it is being used for,
Yeah,
that is the energy you're going to be attracting.
yeah.
If you also want to see the joy and difference that it brings, that is the energy you're going to be attracting.
And that's where we talk about manifestation and attraction because every thought, every word is a spell.
Hmm.
It's spelling. Sunny and I were working on that yesterday. We made a crossword puzzle and it's spelling, it's understanding. And we were talking this morning, Jesse and I, about words that are memorized, like one, WON, and ONE. ONE doesn't sound out to one, it's ONI.
Right. Sight words, words you have to know by sight because, you know, I have a whole song about there is no A in they, there is no A in they. If you want to spell it right, there is no A in they, you know. Um,
Kitty
the,
Foss bringing out the songs. I love it. I
yeah,
love
you
it.
know, I mean,
Hey, that's
right.
so wild.
It is there, and as soon as you
But in
learn,
Canada,
especially in
there
English,
really is no A in they.
yeah,
A?
hey, you know, um, and you know, there's just words that don't sound out. You have to learn a chunk. You have to see a pattern. That's true for life and our newness, and that's what we search for is a familiar pattern. What we need, or let me not say that. What we want to be able to do though is recognize if that pattern doesn't fit the newness.
Oh my gosh, like, the expectation that when you go to the hospital, that you will get a room at the inn and not be in the hallway for a couple hours, days, weeks. Jesse
Yeah,
was telling me about situations at work that blew my mind.
yeah.
Blew my mind, and then having our family in the midst of that right now as someone's working through changes in their um, structure of their body.
Yep.
Remember that book, A Stroke of Insight?
Mhm. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Mind altering.
When you realize what the brain does, how it searches for patterns because we are bombarded. And because of the social media, we are bombarded with additional. So instead of getting, oh, they're trying to control, how about then we work on our curiosity, our skill to do something with it, our
Oh my
critical
goodness.
thinking. Yeah.
Yes, yes, because I know after I had the Sananga, the Brazilian medicine for in the eyes, how much my vision has shifted, inner
Hmm.
and outer. It's little things like I did the a retinol mask here that I, went in the cupboard. I'm like, ooh, cool stuff. I love when you go to a friend's house and there's all those things. Well, you don't put the retinol under your eyes when you do a mask. Well, I did. So I'm shedding like decades of skin, um, learning as I go, right? I need to use a milder version.
Right. Right. In this pause. Well, Nance, I hate to go, but I have to go.
Oh, and you know what? Thank you all so much for joining us for Wednesday Wisdom. If this conversation resonated with you, please share it with someone who may need a reminder that they're allowed to evolve. You're allowed
Understand
to
that they are
explore.
new.
Yeah, right?
Dry
You're allowed,
your wings.
right? Choose joy. Until next
Choose
time,
joy.
keep shining bright storytellers and hype this on YouTube, please. I mean, it's so cool. The changes. I mean, I'm beginning to understand and analyze the statistics. We're off the hook in Bangladesh, Kitty.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Isn't it though? Someone said to me, well, yeah, but can you get clients from Bangladesh? And I'm like, well, you can get clients from anywhere, honey. People want to learn. And I love to share.
Hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So, okay. Peace out, my friend. I love
Namaste.
you so much. Namaste.